So this video comes off the back of every person who's put a comment on one of my videos in the last week. And this is aimed directly at you personally. We are so divided as a fan base in the comments of where we believe the solution is for Matthias Jaissle. The solution is for Newcastle United. The solution for this squad. But we're actually all united on one point. And that is that we feel the club is not aligned with the fans and the manager and the strategic moving forward of this football team. And Newcastle United have put a video out today, almost a call to action, a video of fans getting behind Matthias Jaissle and how what we can give him. And my call to action is for fans to tell the club what we need from them. Because actually, what we need is for them to act swiftly, efficiently and professionally in this transfer window to give Matthias Jaissle the best chance of creating something successful. If you're new around here, I'm Adam. This is Two for Joy. Get down there, like, hype, subscribe. I want to go through it all today from a fan's perspective and look at how we're divided and how we're united and what the club is doing for us. Let's get into it. So I want to start with the obvious. Newcastle United have a new manager. Matthias Jaissle arrived with a clear philosophy at Newcastle United, and we've seen glimpses in this pre-season of something different. A progressive attacking style of football, something where we play through the middle, we try and break lines, something we didn't see under Eddie Howe, something we did see under Kevin Keegan, something we did see under Bobby Robson, something we want to see from our football team. Something exciting has the potential to develop here. But also, the reality is important. Because at the moment, the football club, we've had our best players stripped from this squad. In the transfer market, we're moving slowly and not acting efficiently. And the window's getting closer and closer to the point of closing and decisions aren't being made. And I don't think fans are divided on where we want this football club to go. We're divided on how we get there. And this is the big talking point. This is what I want everybody to interact in the comments around. We talk about Jaissle, we talk about the philosophy, we talk about the attacking intent, we talk about the energy, the willingness to play exciting football. It's what Newcastle crave as a football club. The era of Kevin Keegan, Bobby Robson, bravery, entertainment, everything we've wanted, everything we've had in the past that never quite brought us success, but it was our best times. It's the times we look back on so fondly. And the fans are actually united. We are actually behind the football club. We just disagree on which player we need. Is he good enough? Isn't he good enough? Do we need a striker, a midfielder, a defender? Which is the priority position? What must be sorted immediately? But nobody's arguing because they don't care. We're arguing because we care so much. And this is where I feel all Newcastle fans, every person in the comments, even if it's a negative one, even if you disagree with me, the reason you're saying it is because you care about this football club. That is the biggest point. And this is where it brings me on to the fan video that Newcastle have put out. The call to action. It's a powerful video with a question that's already answered. It's a question of the fans getting behind Matthias Jaissle. We give this club everything. We give it our support. We give it the atmosphere. We give it patience. We give it belief. And the supporters will show Matthias Jaissle that we are with you. We are behind you. But now I feel the big question is, will the club do the same? Because As supporters, we should be asking the club to back Matthias Jaissle. We should be asking the club to spend every penny they have in this window to bring in the talent to be able to take this club forward and not leave us in a bare bones, not just with words or with videos, the way they act, not just with statements. Give him the players he needs. Give him the squad he needs. Give him the tools to implement the football and the philosophy that he desires. Give him the staff that he needs to implement the football. Because it's very easy for fans to say, we believe in you. The club has to show that they believe in him. Fans will show they believe in him when he turns up at St James's and they hear that Geordie roar. But bigger than one transfer, whether it's player X or player Y, the biggest picture is, what have the football club shown us? What have the football club shown us by holding on, in my opinion, to a manager that had expired, that had lost interest, that had allowed players over their peak age not to be sold off, players that had run their contracts into their final years and left players in a position where they didn't want to play for this football club anymore? What have the football club shown us in the way of plans for a new stadium, plans for a new training ground, better sponsorships, growing this football club globally? And eventually, all of these things, they catch up with you. So you can't build an entire squad overnight. I understand that. But this is why recruitment needs to be decisive, and this is why planning matters. And in my opinion, the mismanagement of this team over the last 2 seasons, and whether that comes down to Eddie Howe, I believe it does, but whether that comes down to Eddie Howe or not, there should have been somebody higher up in the club looking at this saying, enough's enough. You can't keep holding on to players that are 33, 34, 35. You can't allow our biggest stars to run their contracts into their last 2 years or even the last year. You can't look at players that are leaving in a window and say, we don't need to replace him, we can bring through youth. In the likes of Kieran Trippier or Sandro Tonali or Bruno Guimaraes. The big question is the infrastructure of this club. Is it ready for this point of a transition? Is it ready to go through this and build a new team? And do they have the ambition to back this guy that they've brought in? Because I can tell you now, Matthias Jaissle, everything I've watched of him, I'm on board. He's charismatic, he speaks well, his philosophy is what I like to see, the football style is what I'd like to see. The players is where I have the problem. The squad is where I have the problem. And in my opinion, most of the young players in this team, whether they're quite at the level yet or not, they're giving it everything. They're trying to prove themselves. They're trying to show that they're worthy of a place in this team. The established players of this team are the players that are letting us down. The established players that checked out under Eddie Howe are still checked out. And Newcastle need to address this. At the size of our football club, with the money we have from an ownership, we should not be struggling in the market in the way that we are. We should not be acting in the market in the way that we are. We should have learnt our lessons from seasons previous. And I don't feel this comes down to one man as manager. I feel this comes down to a football club as a whole, an infrastructure, a hierarchy. And somebody ultimately has to be responsible for that. And if Eddie Howe didn't have a sporting director, so you can't blame him. He didn't have a CEO, so you can't blame him. Then it goes up the chain. until it goes back to PIF, until it goes back to somebody. If you didn't have the roles in place, it's your job at the top to assume those roles, to make sure this is being looked after properly, to make sure this club is heading in the direction it should be. And this is an important distinction to make, and me to make this clear. This isn't about turning on the owners. This isn't about turning on the club. It's completely the opposite. This isn't about Newcastle spending £100 million every summer. That is not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for what any business should do well. Proper planning, decisive recruitment, the infrastructure to match the ambition, and a manager to be given the tools to succeed. And this is where I feel Newcastle as a football club are failing. The club has a window of opportunity at the moment. It has the potential to do something different. We understand the model that the club would like to head down. But realistically, are the ownership being ambitious enough? Are they backing the man that they've given the mantle as manager? Or are they setting him up to fail? Are they setting us up for another season of heading backwards? And this is why I say I want to speak directly to you. So let's back Jaissle. I back Jaissle. Let's give him everything. Let's get behind the football. Let's get behind the philosophy. Let's have the patience to see him build something. But also, don't let this become fans versus fans, because we all want to head in the same direction. Don't let this become we should sign player A versus player B. Don't let the social media arguments detract from the real thing we need, which is the club, the ownership, to align in the same way that the fans are with the manager. We need the club to align with the manager. We can disagree on details and still stand together. We can debate players and the direction that we'd like the club to go in next and still stand together. But we have to demand, as fans, more from the club and its owners. Fans are ready. Matthias Jaissle is ready. Now the club needs to be ready. And the real question is, PIF, Newcastle United, are you ready? Like I say, let me know in the comments. Like, hype, subscribe, do all the good things. I can't thank you enough for all the comments. Even the people that have corrected me, disagreed with me, rowed with me. It's what I want for this channel. It's debate. It's an open platform for people to give their opinion. And obviously, if you give it in the right way, I will try and message back every comment that's made on this channel. It's why I do it. It's fan debate is the greatest thing. Without Newcastle, without fans, Newcastle as a football club wouldn't exist. Without you talking to me, I wouldn't do this. That's the whole point of it. But either way, guys, I hope you enjoy your evening, and I'll see you in the next one.